Final sentence. Goodbye forever. You've seen the titles, the thumbnails, the ominous music. But when you look for actual court records or a credible news break, the trail goes cold. Tonight, we're pulling the mask off the Clifton Powell rumor mill. What really happened? Why the story keeps mutating? And how a single word, sentence, can hijack your attention with zero proof. If you just scroll the feed, the verdict looks sealed. Multiple videos push the same line. Clifton Powell's sentence is final. Goodbye forever. Same phrasing, same script feel, different channels. It's packaged to be irresistible. A beloved character actor, a shocking twist, a career apparently ending in silence. But here's the first crack. No reputable outlet backs it up, and the people who would absolutely cover a real conviction haven't. That's not a tiny detail, that's the whole ballgame. But the rumor needed fuel, and it found plenty. This is where two lanes collide. Lane 1 is the click economy, recycled narrations, moody thumbnails, and the same "Hollywood doesn't want you to know" cadence. Lane 2 is real, reporting about Clifton Powell Jr. His relationship with Sasha Obama made headlines and social buzz. Blend the names, cherry-pick old drama, and the algorithm thinks smoke means fire. Viewers see Powell, hear final sentence, and the brain does the rest. That's not evidence, that's keyword alchemy. If a criminal sentence were real, 2025 coverage would be loud. Instead, we got something else entirely. In September 2025, there was a published piece on Powell, an actual reported story, not a rumor thread. He speaks about an agent he says dropped him over doing another Little Black movie, crediting advice from Jamie Foxx and doubling down on the kind of roles he chooses. People who have been goodbye forevered don't pop up in mainstream interviews. They don't detail career principles. They don't discuss reps by name. The existence of that article alone undercuts the vanished into a sentence narrative. It shows a working actor still, well, working, and still talking. So where did the legal smoke come from? It wasn't a criminal case. It was paperwork with a very different label. There was a lawsuit, Myers versus Powell, filed in 2012 in the Eastern District of Louisiana. That's not breaking news. It's public record. In 2013, a default judgment initially landed against Powell, legalese for "you didn't show up, so the other side wins by default." But that default didn't stick. In 2017, a federal judge vacated it after finding improper service of process. In plain English, the court said the default couldn't stand because the case wasn't served correctly. In 2018, the court dismissed Powell's counterclaims, separate from the plaintiff's suit, and later in 2018, the court enforced a settlement agreement. Translation: this was a civil matter that ended in settlement enforcement, not a criminal trial, not a conviction, not a judge reading out years behind bars. The word sentence doesn't belong to civil court. Period. And while rumor channels kept echoing final, Powell kept doing what long career actors do: more work. If you want to know whether someone has been shut out of the industry, follow the credits. In 2024, Powell appears in Peacock's star-stacked limited series Fight Night, The $1 Million Heist. Kevin Hart, Don Cheadle, Taraji P. Henson, Samuel L. Jackson. The whole thing is very public, widely covered, and easily verifiable. Trade outlets and entertainment press ran trailers, teasers, and cast lists, with Powell credited as Mushmouth Rowe. Nobody puts a supposedly finished man in a prestige mini that headlines a streamer's fall slate. Credits are career proof. They're the receipts that rumor thumbnails can't argue with. So if the facts don't support a criminal ending, why do goodbye forever videos still trend? Because outrage converts. Uncertainty is a growth hack. A title suggesting final sentence buys the first 10 seconds. A somber tone buys the next 20. Add B-roll and a recycled script, and you've got watch time, no documents required. The algorithm doesn't check dockets, it checks retention. And the name collision, Clifton Powell, Senior versus Junior, keeps luring new viewers who think they're connecting dots. What starts as a misunderstanding turns into a feedback loop. The loudest thing wins, even if it's the least sourced. But there's a reason journalists keep circling back to Powell's actual story, and it isn't a sentencing memo. Here's the simple summary. There is no credible report of a criminal sentence for Clifton Powell. There is a documented civil case that moved through default to vacatur to counterclaim dismissal to settlement enforcement. There is current year reporting with Powell speaking in his own voice about career choices and the industry. And there are fresh enough credits that prove he's on sets and on screens. When clip channels say, "Goodbye forever," the record says, "Still working." The internet loves finality. Sentence. Finished. Gone. But civil court isn't criminal court, and rumor isn't reporting. If you're here for the truth, it's less dramatic and more durable. Clifton Powell is a veteran actor with a long resume, a contested civil case that ended in a settlement, and recent work on a major streaming series, plus a 2025 paper of record piece carrying his words, not whispers. If you want more breakdowns that cut through mud and keep the receipts front and center, hit follow, because the next shocking headline is already loading, and we'll be here to separate heat from light.